In the interim, 3 people look at each other. On the face at the same time, there is a certain reluctance. Laughing together. At the same time entering the room, the city is prepared. In the middle of the room there is a large dining table. Full sorghum taste. The leader sits down in the front seat. Speak up and sit down without stress. 3 people looked at each other. Rigid body sitting down at the table, even though it's been allowed by the department. But they are not in a hurry. The opposite is the worst. Even though she doesn't understand what she wants to do, stay calm and sit down. Gently holding chopsticks for dinner. Have a nice chat with everyone. I can't help but admire the scene. His brother in a previous life. How did you finally accumulate virtue? It can catch the blue eye of a long time. The owner tends to be otherwhere. I know that the people next to me don't stop thinking. They want to be the most secure. From hand to hand. It's not possible. Their beauty cannot compare to her. The power is even less. Your position is higher than theirs, not just one. It's basically this battle for men. Cannot be compared. Just like that, everyone eats together. Until the night falls. They tend to feel not so different. Just speak up. Time is not too early. It's time to break up. Most likely, he raised his eyebrows suspiciously and asked for a breakup. It's not tomorrow. It's a big festival. What are you breaking up with right now? She tends to shake her head laughing. Take my hand. Just look at the others. Follow me. Then she led the way straight away. To a small deserted forest. There's a carriage in front of you. There are also elders of the family around. There are also 2 people who are long-term owners and long-term owners. Look at this scene. People can't help but be startled. Doubtful look at each other. I don't understand a bit what's going on. But right now. He pointed to the chariot and said, "Come on, you guys get out of here at night. You're not allowed back." Just set out. And everyone was once again amazed at what startled them. 157 do not want to be in debt. Don't he know in a few days, the next long dance will take place Batch Dawn Festival. But now I want them to leave. He's a little confused about what happened. The landlord at Sao kicked us out again. Maybe we've been guilty of something for a long time. I tend to hear this word. Helplessly sighed and shook his head laughing. Sorry, it's not your fault. It's because of my cause. They don't want to get you involved. But the king of Than Van has a wicked heart. I'm afraid he'll strike you. When he heard this, he shouted with fear. King Mon. Why is it related to the emperor? We're not guilty of them. Most probably no. What's the tendency to talk about? I want to know what you are going to do. I can't wait to interrupt Dong Tien. You have not been killed. What are you crying about? He closed his eyes to the city. What do you want to do? Don't do anything stupid. You might have another way. To listen to him. Not without bitterness in my heart. Why did they come this way? Is there another way? And then she came in front of me the softest. Put your hand to your cheek. I know what I'm doing. It's just that there are things you can do for me. Most likely, he died for a moment. She looked at her actions a little confused. Suddenly right now, they are going to pull him to the place from dawn. Put your hand on her hand. Then speak up again. I hope you will take care of Dawn later. Maybe she's the only blood vessel in the universe. She just finished. The most extraordinary and private. Dawn immediately amazed, both hands out at the same time. I tend to look at them in amazement. Put on your hand and give yourself a ring and say, "This is my last wish. You must finish it for me." Dawn took it and went home and threw the jade away. But only when we get there. You can see what's inside. Take good care of your husband. It doesn't matter, you know. When I heard that, my eyes began to cry. Most likely, they are silent and say nothing. The owner saw this scene. It's a little disheartening. But the situation forced. A little self-interest has to be put down. Loud voice, the time is not early. If you don't even go, let those people find out. Then you won't be able to go. Hear this word. Even though I don't understand it very well. But hear the danger in here. Not say 2 words. Hurriedly put the companion on the carriage. Probably the most transparent. This is the city. I want to save the last blood of a long dance. To ensure the most. Do what he says first. At least after sending them away. Just go back and help them. Even if she doesn't ask for help. He was also determined to stop the Emperor's intentions. To save the world is for his ultimate goal. Thought. He was definitely heading towards the Don Pepper. Scream for an hour. Why? It's a straight way to the carriage. I saw the jade determined to leave. Form long master in lap hidden anger shouted. You must take good care of yourself. It's for my disciples. Otherwise, he will not ignore you. Most of all, it's very irresponsible to shout. Your disciples have grown up. She can take care of herself without bothering me. And then he whipped the horse away. Watching the carriage slowly disappear into the peony's eye. Long Boss exasperated stomped feet. They say men are not a good thing. When I heard that, I refused to fuck her. I didn't say I'd run away. HOA long stick holder. I'm also a little disgruntled. My department entrusts my name. For a man like that. Is it worth it or not? Hear this word. He laughed and shook his head. They can safely leave this place. It's not what we hoped for. Is there anything else to say? At the same time, I took a deep breath. Restore the mood of the sleeve. Let's go. Tomorrow we have a big battle. She and the 2 owners flew away. The dance is long coming. But only she knows. She is not in a good mood right now. Even if the ultimate goal is to let them go. But he was the one with whom she spent her days in peace. Stand together before the birth of separation. I didn't show any weakness. It was a waste of time having lived together before. This really makes her feel a little lost. Out in this relationship. Only she is waiting for you. sentence that your thoughts and the worst are not the same. Why, given that just send this Don investor away safely is to be able to ensure that the flower's veins dance for a long time. He can fulfill her will. Then you can come back and help her. It's not a separate birth. There's no need to make a kind of goodbye. Not seeing you like that. An hour later. Probably the best horse. Get the three of them to safety. We're only 100 miles away from the dance floor. Then he jumped off the wagon and said, "All right, you guys go. Come back here. I want to go back to dance for a long time." The horse in the carriage immediately jumped out. Urgently say, "The husband is waiting. You can't go back. Otherwise, we will waste the efforts of the billions or so." Here or the word husband. Probably the most angry. "I will not allow you to call me your husband. It's not the department anymore. He is your master. Who doesn't know? As small as you." At this time Don hesitantly bowed his head. It's not even related to the sow husband. A slave is the one who's master. Handed over to her husband personally. It's obviously the husband's man. The master is the wife of the Lord. Of course we should call it a billion. She just finished. Probably the most astounding thing. She has been my wife ever since. As soon as he got off the horse, he spoke. "Brother, when was the time when you were still so slow? You and your boss are in that shitty house. Even the blind can see. You two are married. Why are you still so confused?" What she said was so clear. You met her family yesterday. She came to see your friends today. It's not for everyone to testify about your spouse or sow. Listen to Dong Thien Ba explain. The worst of all is once again terrifying. Not. I always thought she saw me as her brother. But live in those little recollections, sow. 2 lives of giving. So far, a king has always considered others as his own. How to know about men and women? Even if it is only to achieve the goal. I mean to pretend. I never meant to be honest. When he saw that he did not believe, he continued to ask. So husband, have you seen the owner's face? Don't call me husband anymore. I've seen it twice. That's right. Long-time owner of HOA Long Dance. We will not marry for the rest of our lives. Unless there is a man. See their true faces. Either that or kill the man. Or you can resign and marry that man. If your husband lives in peace. That proves my daughter's decision is to accept you as her husband. This moment is most likely to be finally transparent. No blame. At first, he took the opportunity to sneak into the office because of the Buddha. That dropped her veil. It hurts her so much. It turns out she's hesitating whether to kill him or marry him. It's really dangerous. Fortunately, she had no intention of killing him. If not, from the very beginning, the plan is cancelled. He looked at her and continued to speak. If you still don't believe, she told me to take this ring away. There must be something in there. End words. They only bring things out of the world. Most likely, look at the object in front of you, not from joy. He reached out his hand and took the jade bottle. With a pleasant smile. If you wear your heels, you can't see it. It doesn't take any effort to see it. He wasted so much effort and still didn't get it. I didn't expect the city to offer itself. He looked at the jade vase in his hand. In the silent joy. On the red face. The jade body is the dowry of the female. If you take it, you have to accept it. And I. Hear this word. The face of the most ordinary person is immediately unsightly. There's no problem with the tendency. See as accepted. But this Danish private woman. His impression of her was initially poor. Lemon sour. It's arbitrary. I am crazy to be married to her. He thought and looked at the wood in his hand again. That's right, this wood is. However, he has not withdrawn. The word saw 6 inscriptions on the wood. He was immediately amazed at the grave of his wife. Looking at these 6 words, he has a little bad feeling. Of course, they're going to do something bad. He looked at the wood. I don't know about this. But one day I heard Master mention. They're going to drag King Theo to death. The strongest words suddenly shouted. Even students should not know. They also know their plans. In such an easy way. How could they drag that old man to his death? A bunch of stupid women are looking for their own way. Probably the most thoughtful a little bit. Look at the objects on your hands. The road is the queen. You don't want to owe someone else's love. More than a woman. And then he decided to leave. In the blink of an eye, you can't see. 158 Batch Dawn Festival begins. I can't help but see this scene urgently. Even though he's playful. But he couldn't leave his friends behind. But now the danger is near. If they come back, they may have something bad. You can't help but cry out loud. Your husband will not be able to return. We want to chase. He also hurriedly looked at the sky. Eyes full of prayer. She doesn't want anything to happen. Tung Thien Ba silently contemplated for a while. His eyes were slightly ticked and he bit his teeth. Hurry up and talk to Lao Tzu. You can't leave your brother alone in danger. At the same time, a long dance at a high court. At this moment, we are standing on high. Look at the big picture below. Eyes full of hurt. Look at where the body is. Today is your last chance. She would avenge him. At this point, the woman slowly walked to her side. Keep your eyes on the view below. He said the department has arranged everything. Just waiting for that thief to come in. He turned his eyes to the guest seats. Good intentions flashed in his eyes. Even if the fire is long gone, he also had to drag that thief to death. Let him pay with our blood. Soon she and her two close friends. To the dance floor, where the 100 Festival will take place. This place also has many magnificent high floors, more beautiful than a long dance. In the middle there is a training area. Right now, there were many people at the dance hall waiting. High floor. She tends to look below. Speak up towards the long form, the owner behind asked. Have you arranged everything? That thief won't be alarmed. Clean the owner's teeth, bite the bet, say rest assured. People are looking for trustworthy people. The long battle prison has also been displayed on the exhibition stand. Just let that thief in. Don't ever get out again. So good that the Hong Fu Then van is Sao. Don't worry, we've also placed a ban on the west side. At that time, they will absolutely turn back. We'll have time to deal with that thief. The word just ended. I was relieved to breathe out, but very quickly sighed for 2 hours. Looking at the 2 old masters, I am sure. But it's only 2 trillions. This thief is the kind of person who is not easily surrounded. If the 3 of us join together, he could beat him to death. He will soon be killed by his poison. Tend to have no regrets, but make to billions with me. She hasn't finished yet. Tan Tai Bar shook his head. Patting her shoulder, she cuts her way. Don't talk anymore. When we first agreed with him, I will help you as I swore. Everyone listen to me. If the fire dies today, it's not as devastating as it is. Tell the world. Don't be mad at our women. Otherwise there will be no good results. Hear this word. In my heart I can't help but be moved. 2 eyes flushed red endlessly, to rows of tears. For a long time. It feels a little weird, right? Other owners are fine. Why haven't they come yet? She just finished. Tan Tai Than and Ho Petition also slightly startled. It's not very clear. At this very moment a good laugh broke out. Your boss is waiting for them, right? 3 people startled by the sound of looking through. Not out of fear. The one who comes is serious. After him there are other owners. The face is a little dirty. Look at this scene. 3 people tend to be terrified. The body can't help but shake a little. Even though you know they are under strict control. But I can't believe they betrayed me again today. They are ready to look at them again. Shaking my head, 7 hopes I understand everyone's hard spot. I don't blame you. I just hope the next day. Stay away from this place. Cherish the beautiful days, live well. Total Long Master. He looked at this scene laughing coldly. Total Long Master, real tolerance. I don't know if you see them. They can even tolerate it. Number. He immediately clapped for 2 hours. According to that, there were 4 more core masters who appeared. Long form theme face suspension weight. Look at one of the old owners. Grinded teeth said. Sun Dance Long Master, you have the longest track record in the world. How can you? The man said coldly. The dance has long run out of hope. The owner is just looking for a place to live. I advise you, you should find a place to go for yourself. Don't think about not being able to. I hear the meaning in her words. There is no doubt about it. Look at the long form owner. But right now, long form master gently bit his lips, faltering said. It's a battle show. I told her to go to work. Hear this word. You can't escape the shock. Take 2 steps back. On a face full of despair. This is your last chance. Not having time to do it, he was killed. Unfortunately, you still want to die with him. The result he holds in his hand. Nothing can do him. Look seriously at their expressions. Not without laughing. The old man said it early. The dance has been controlled by the old man for a long time. Do you do anything? It's all a waste. Save your energy. Then in his hands appeared the stones. Then throw it on the ground. Then turn around and leave. He wouldn't stop laughing for 2 hours. This is your spirit stone, used to stage battles on the western flank. The old man had already thought of a way to solve it. You can't make 2 men. See Bachdon flourishing in forbiddance. That's 7 feasts with the emperor. Ha ha ha. Your boss, just look. The old man will take the treasure for a long time. Go to your bodhicitta. How nominally the agreement itself. When he finished he turned around. Take the old traitorous Kier masters downstairs. Leave only 3 people. He was so angry that he stood there. The city is so desperate right now. Hold both hands together. The body is constantly trembling. The owner watched him leave. In my heart. 2 lines of tears appeared on her face. All because we are not good. You hit me because I ruined your plan. Knitting pattern is so cute. Let the 4th person know about this. Suddenly now, a scream echoed through everyone's ears. The serious thief. I want to get the treasure of the long dance. We're not that easy. Strictly on the way down. Look at the people coming. I couldn't help laughing for 2 hours. I thought it was AI. Ra is your old lady. 159 Bachdon Festival 2. The one who comes is a long dance. Chairman of the Peach Monk training. The woman who had quietly disappeared for years. Now he appears again, at the festival. They tend to look at people coming. Raised her eyes full of hurt cry digging her. Digging Coco Black himself to the side of the city. He wiped the tears from her face. Just say the head. It doesn't have to hurt your face like that. We haven't lost yet. Seriously, hear this word. I can't help but feel cold and embarrassed. When I met you 25 years ago. Not through. You are only a 6-year-old. And the old man was already the monk's food. 25 has passed. Even now you can practice the 7 medicinal herbs. Not compared to the old man is also far behind. You know what he said is true. But she didn't want him to either. Immediately speak out against. That's not sure. There's a proverb that says great progress. It makes people have a different view. Just have the old man here today. Don't you dream of getting a piece of Bodhi. Slightly ironic eyes laughed out loud. The old man told us to wait and see. I really want to see this for years. How far have you progressed? When he finished, he lifted his feet and left. I don't look back anywhere. To look at him. Then look back at her, Peach, she said. Peach her. There really is a way to beat him. But dig your ant. There was no air in the blink of an eye. Laughing for an hour. 2 stupid heads. This guy just gave you some air. In terms of knitting practice, this medicine is unique. It can be said that the first heaven No one can catch up. It is easy to hear this word again. In eyes full of despair said, "That said, we're really out of hope." Peach Hershey looked at her heartbroken. Think for a moment. Even saying that is not sure. No matter how strong the training is, there are also 7 failures. As long as he's a little distracted, half of the medicine has been destroyed. The King of China has 15. There is no escaping this morality. The peony in her eyes lit up looking towards her island. That said, she still has hope for next month. In the words of Qin, the eyes of the old master, and the old master, glimmer of hope. Look at her. I look at the eyes full of faith that look at me. You really can't break it. Reluctantly persistent nod. But in her heart, it's clear. Your chance to win seriously. Almost 0. The King of China has 15. The mind can be as solid as stone. How is it possible to make such a mistake? Yeah. Maybe she learned to knit 7 or 10 times. He may not have lost 7 times. Then she shook her head and laughed. Then turn around and talk. Get this old man down and get ready. Don't lose faith too much. It'll all get better. She danced as long as you do now. I can only help the girls. There's a little more comfort. And even you can't believe it's going to happen. Even this old body, he risked his life to death for the last time. So this little bit of faith, you want to leave them too. A moment later, the festival begins. Everyone scrambled to get into their seats. People of the Emperor. I also love to drink and drink at the same time. That Hongfu Van looked down. I can't help but hold it in my hand. Smile kindly. That here the people of the Xianlong, and the Sword Servant. Alliance with HOA dance for a long time. Sit in the guest chair. Long 9, and the sky. Look at the crowd below. But I can't find the shadow of the greatest. Can't help but frown. If you do not appear, who will be the one to face the King of Medicine? I think there's a little urgency in my heart. Right now. There were a lot of people in the audience. Now there's no stopping to talk. This is not the Master Sao. You also participated in the Batch Dawn Festival. Of course. Batch Dawn Bloom of the Flower dance for 15 times. Maybe not come. That's not Master Zhang. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Master Chun, welcome. In the middle of the field. The competition has not started yet. Everywhere there was talk. Suddenly an old man walked slowly into the arena. The monk opened his mouth with a confident smile. To see this person, everyone can't help but stagnate. In the crowd there was a man screaming. You're not the master of the vase. The West Master SAO's most elite subject. That's right. Who doesn't know what you're capable of? Male Danish competition of the Imperial Capital 1. Last year I was honored to be second. It's just a few slow steps. In the hands of genius, disciple of pharmacology strict. Your reputation is so great. Why are you here, scrambling for a little bit of fame with us? That's right, you're already a 5-year-old monk. Give us a little way of life. The whole crowd is looking forward to the last leg. In eyes full of resentment. But he laughed and shook his head. A cold sighed. It has a little bit of a reputation on the way. But the learning is great. This time save me. Not too late, it's just rubbing with you a little bit. It has absolutely nothing to do with fame. His words just ended. Everyone immediately silently scorned. You just stay there. Clearly come because the flower has been boasting for a long time. Suddenly now, a sweet sound came from under the stage. Gentlemen, please be quiet. Hello everyone. Welcome, representatives of the world, to attend our Knit Society. I'm a commentator for the Knit Society this time. Xenon. According to the sound everyone looked through, a little girl appeared from the air. Fall into the center of the ring. Look at everyone. In the middle of the yard in the blink of an eye. The sound of shouting instantly disappeared. The young lady saw this scene with satisfaction. One pat. Then a series of young women appeared. Then each one standing next to the kill on the radio. Competition knitting pharmacy. This time, each of you has a long dance as a companion. Oversee the entire process as one moves. There is absolutely no room for any fraudulent activity. The little girl hasn't finished yet. The other leg next to him interrupted. Long dance is the world of 7 working families. That's for sure. Having American girlfriend? Very good, haha. The people in the yard were no exception. Long dance applause. Not less. The little girl on the field looked at this and nodded a little. He pointed to the pottery and said, everyone has 3, 6, 9 training monks like that. 20 of these is to prepare for the 20 most elite monastic trainings. From right to left 120. If you have confidence in yourself, please stand up in front of the corresponding pot. In the blink of an eye, everyone was immediately stunned. Long dance really knows how to play house. Only save most feet gently squeezing chin on face. Yang proudly. Haha, training monks on the outside is practicing knitting. After all, cultivation is the mind. If even this little bit of confidence doesn't exist, what else can you learn to knit? Master Liu is right. People we don't know how to rank. Master Liu must have ranked first. The most saved feet face up to the sky laughing. Casually say, not the proud old man. It's just that the old man said, what we practice is the mind. If you practice knitting well, there must be the confidence of the world. The first monk training. The number 1 position is sure. The old man didn't refuse. Finally, he lifted his feet and walked towards the bridge. But didn't he wait for him to go far? On the other side of the field there was a loud scream. Step aside. Don't get in the way. Except 160 bodhicitta. Hear this word. Keep your eyes on the person who just arrived. In my eyes can't help but panic. No one else comes, is the seriousness of medicine. Most feet on the face appear suspicious or have a little not understand what to do when you come to Batch Dawn Festival of Ho Long Dance. Some people don't know who. Don't notice the color of the face. Honestly say oh. Not in the last imperial knitting competition. To take the number 1 position of a genius monk. The king of medicine of Sao. Why did he also visit? It's been a long dance for a long time. The person next to him kept nodding. Your old rival is here. I don't know if you should But don't let the other person finish. The first leg was hurriedly interrupted. Haha. This serious boy is really